The reason why most people stay stuck isn't a lack of effort, it's a lack of frameworks. And today I'm going to explain to you how a framework can change your life and how it changed mine and the way I see the world. Most people jump from task to task, goal to goal without a system, and they get distracted, burned out. Now for me, the first time this happened for myself was when I just recently got promoted to NCO rank, which NCO is like a corporal for the Marine Corps. And that's when I realized that I needed a way to kind of structure my behavior, to counsel people, to show how they did over time, their performance. So for me, I started taking notes. I started watching what they do, and I used those notes and I transferred those notes that I took over time, whether it's on paper or mentally on the computer, where I typed it up into a report and gave it to them. That is essentially what they do now in the Marine Corps. It's like a known thing. But if you didn't know, a framework is essentially a concept or a way of thinking of how to do things, pretty much. Now, with that concept in mind, it kind of made my life go a little bit easier because I wasn't awkward when I met them. It's not like I'm just looking at them to see what's wrong with them all the time. I look at both the good and the bad, and then during those monthly performance reviews that I do with them, I talk to them and let them know how they did that month. And then it just continues on and on in cycles. And that was the first time I was introduced to it, because before then, I was kind of lost, running the loose, and just kind of going based on the flow of things. So, for example, let's say that someone starts showing up late. Because I have a short memory, whatever that reason is, I forget a lot. I forget real fast as well. But because I have a short memory, I'll forget. So because of that, I started to write things down, whether it's on paper, and then I moved the paper to my phone notes. And then for my phone notes, I enter into like a template that I give them every month. Now, I'm going to explain to you 5 reasons why frameworks can help you out in life. That first one is that they simplify complexity. Now, what do I mean by that? Essentially, they can make those big ideas you have into clear, simple steps. A kind of simple example that you can relate to maybe is, let's say you want to go to the gym and your overall goal is to maybe get 15 pull-ups. How can you start doing that? The first thing you can do is maybe start with the triangle method. Meaning you start at 1. Well, you start with your maximum pull-ups you can do. You do that. You wait for like a minute or 30 seconds and you try again. Do the second max you can do. You just go down your max number. So if you can start at 20, go down to 19, and then 18, and then 17, and so on. Reason number 2, they speed up learning. That's when I learned the mindset of the focus inputs, whereas you focus on things you can do in order to get the task done. I know for me, it was days when I used to just do stuff just because. Like for example, back when I was a senior drum instructor, I used to just do stuff for no reason. But then I realized, why would I do that when I'm just putting extra work on myself? So that's when I started doing a focus input method, where if it's something that's important, I focus on that one task. And if I don't need to do it, I'm not going to do it, simply. That's what helped me. A fly just went up my nose. But that will help me stay focused in the task. Also will help me kind of finish work faster, because I'm not doing the extra work that doesn't matter. I'm doing what actually does matter, which is the focus inputs I can do to get towards the end goal, which is completing that project or task. Reason number 3, they help you predict patterns. You ever had like a YouTuber or somebody that you ever noticed before, and you know that they have certain days they do lives and certain days they do maybe just different type of videos? That's their framework. That's their framework of how they post videos or live content and how they kind of do that stuff. Essentially, this reason is so it can help you kind of know what's going to happen and kind of help you anticipate things or see things that others miss easily, because you have like a checklist or like a way of seeing things that others miss. Also means you have high IQ. Reason number 4, they help make bad decisions. They help filter options, reduce overwhelm, and increase confidence. Now, the Marine Corps has this thing called the OODA loop, which means that you observe, orientate, decide, and act. So to use that as an example, let's say that in front of you there was a chaos going on. You're at work walking down the walkway and you see that someone wasted coffee on the ground. You observe to see what's going on. You orientate yourself towards a problem. You will decide what to do and you will act on your decision. That's what that is. And reason number 5, they help you teach and lead others. So a way that I use this was recently in the recruit training method, how I told the recruits, non-Marines, that you only get one day, one time as a recruit, one time in this certain event that we have through our recruit training. And then that's it. You're only in that environment once when you're with the other people in your squad bay with no phone for 3 months. So embrace it. And I think that kind of helped them out a lot and showed them that together they can win. So it kind of helped them push through. At least that's what I thought. Or they summed to the concept of taking it chow by chow, meaning for you, if you're a civilian, lunch by lunch daily until they graduate boot camp. So that's how I kind of helped and led them. In my personal opinion, I think Introverts are a good way of seeing life and the way of seeing life in a way that helps you, but don't live by them. You should be able to adapt them and use them based on situations, but take what you can from each one of the frameworks and use them to best your advantage. You can even make your own. Now, if you don't mind, I haven't did this in a while, but I created a video on how to do focus inputs, meaning different ways you can apply this in your life. If you want to listen to it, just click the link above and it should be there. But that's all I got. Thank you for listening.